he came to me and he said, I heard you were the best DJ from the past.
Come take you for a ride on a DJ friend.
Alex, Henk described you as one of the fire starters in the Dutch dance scene. What were those first sort of years in the Dutch dance like?
And I thought, I can organize the DJ convention around it.
That was like the first Amsterdam dance event.
That was the beginning.
Yeah.
Because that's why it's still in October. Made one record with my band.
Alex and the City Crew.
And then, we had 200 shows. And after that it stopped. And then, then we went on with other things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, I did a lot of things good and I had a lot of fun in life. But financially it's not okay. And I have to change.
Alex, I start all my podcasts with the same question because usually that sets the tone for the rest of the conversation. And that question is, are you happy?
Yeah, very happy.
What, in your opinion, is required to live a happy life?
Good question. To do the work you like, to have a nice family around you, that everybody is healthy, that you can do some inspiring things for yourself. Yeah, that will be it.
I asked the following question because I got your name via Henk. And when I asked Henk about happiness, he found it quite funny because the term happiness seemed a bit like a little kid. Like a little kid, I think was how he phrased it to him. Yeah. So my question for you is happiness what we should be chasing in life?
No, I don't think happiness is important because you need to have fun. But it's not the most important thing. I think getting your family right on track is more important. And to have fun in your work is important, but it's not about pure happiness. Mm-hmm. But happiness you need to chase as well, because in holidays or in whatever, you need to find this again.
Yeah. For this podcast, I use it almost as research in order to figure out whether or not chasing your passion leads to finding your purpose.
Okay.
Meaning that I have a research hypothesis that is passion equals purpose. What do you think about that?
Yeah, passion. For me, passion has always been in my life, whatever I do. So I did everything you can imagine in the music business, and everything. For me, it's normal to do it with passion because otherwise I cannot do it. So I worked in the music industry, of course, as a DJ. I started in '74, and then it was new, so it was fun to do because we had to develop all our knowledge about playing music. And people were looking at it like, everybody can be a DJ, It was not a status.
Yeah.
So, I was one of the first to start DJing without talking in the microphone because I didn't like to do that.
Right.
So I was the first one to find out how we could mix. And then the further we came, the better it was, and to make nice mixes. And then the good turntables came. So the technique developed with us as DJs.
Yeah.
So that was the passion. I DJ'd all over Holland and in Germany in '78, and in Ibiza in '82, and Mallorca, Marbella, things like that in the summers always. And and there was a moment that I thought, I have to do something else, and then started working for a bookings agency. And
what led to that? Why did you think I have to do something else?
Because I was starting in '74, and I think that was around beginning of the '90s that I started. I did everything I could do with turntables and with DJing, and I thought it was good to live a life in daytime.
Yeah.
That was the because I always lived at night.
Yeah.
And in my time, I played here in the biggest club in the 80s, the Bios on the Leidseplein. And I played there 5 days a week, and started at 9 and I was finished at 5 or 4. So that was normal for us, to work that whole night longs. That's the reason why I thought, it's good to live another life and to try to do something else in the business. And how was that? Yeah, it was good because I started. First I started working in a touring agency, and every weekend we had artists over, like from America or from England, and they toured in clubs in Holland. So I organized the clubs and the bookings, and I made the decision what acts should come to Holland. And after that, I started I had the idea to organize a DJ convention in Holland, because I was at the World DJ Convention in May, and I thought, wow. Now I know that DJing is a profession. That was the first time I realized, when all the DJs were together in the Royal Albert Hall. It was amazing. Yeah. And then I thought, we need a DJ convention in Holland as well. So I organized one in October, and I was working in the touring agency as well. And I had Grandmaster, Cutmaster Swift I had over, and Cash Money and Marvelous. They were touring for me in Holland. And I thought, I can organize the DJ convention around it. Yeah. And then it started.
That was like the first Amsterdam dance event.
That was the beginning.
Yeah.
Because that's why it's still in October.
Yeah.
Because I started it then. And then I got involved in DMC, because DMC England, the headquarters, they want to get involved in our DJ convention, so they were joining us. And then later on, they asked if I could work for them. Yeah. So I started working for them. So I stopped with the bookings agency after a year, and then I started working for them. I was their head office for Europe, because they had a lot of things going on in Europe which could have been organized better. So that's what we did. And so I started organizing European DJ championships and the DJ convention, of course. And from there on, it went. The office became bigger and bigger. Yeah. And it was fun to be on the other side of DJing.
Yeah, exactly.
And to be behind the desk, more or less. Yeah. And then we started our own magazine, Update Magazine. It came is a monthly magazine we released, and the DJ convention was bigger and growing. So and it became international, and that was fun. And then later on, Konamis took it over. So then I stopped, and then I realized, it's a lot of fun. An office, we had 14 people working for us, or 15. But I realized, all the energy goes to them and to the things you do. Yeah. But there was not so much fun for me in it, I realized. Yeah. And then I accidentally started DJing again. And then I realized, this is the biggest fun in life.
Why accidentally? How did you?
Yeah, somebody came to me. I didn't touch a record for 7 years, I think. And there was somebody came to me and he said, I heard you were the best DJ from the past, and we want to organize events with older music. Yeah. Can you not play music again for us? And I was really flabbergasted about it, because I had my company, had all these people working for me. But then I thought, I can give it a try.
Yeah, exactly.
So I went to my records. They were still I still had all my records. And I sorted out a few, and I did a set at the party. And then they came back to me, you need to play more, we like it. And at the same time, I started taking, how do you say, we ended up the working together with Henk. Yeah. And then I started as DJ again, and that was fun. Yeah. And in a year after a year working, I had already 4 or 5 gigs a week. So then I found, I realized this was where life was about.
I have a sweet spot for the DJs or the artists, because I was a DJ myself. right? But for me, I at least reflecting now on the process, I feel like I lacked the self-belief to truly believe that I could make it
Yeah.
as a DJ. And that's why I started looking at other things and
Yeah,
eventually brought me to this podcast. Um, so yeah, I know a little bit about the DJ life in that sense. I did also at some point, I think the most I did was 4 nights a week,
Oh yeah.
where it's just sort of so energy draining. A lot of fun, but you're just dead.
Yeah.
So
That was never a problem for me.
no,
No,
still
no.
not. Or well,
No. When we play in Ibiza,
yeah.
we had to play 7 days a week from 9 till 6.
Jeez.
And every day it was on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's no problem.
What keeps you going then? Is that just because you love it so much?
Yeah. I get always energy from how do you say, from playing with the crowd.
Yeah.
You know, that's the most important thing for me. It's not playing the music, but it's entertaining the crowd, and to get them where I want them to be. Also in ups and downs. So, you know,
exactly.
let's go down a little bit and change it and make it and put them make them surprise. You know, things. Yeah, that's what I like. Yeah.
Would you say there's any downsides to chasing your passion?
No.
Oh, that's that's a simple answer.
Yeah, you know, the thing is, if you have a job, life is a little bit easier because you don't have to think too much about your career. But if you're like me, always have your own companies, you always have to think about and plan the way you go with your business.
Yeah.
So with the DJ business especially. So and I have to change the way of working a lot of times. So there was a time that I played. I was the first one to play with video clips.
Yeah.
With the Pioneer. Yeah, first in the 80s with video tapes. Then we played VHS tapes and Betamax tapes. And that was really difficult when we did it. You know, you play start and 1, 2, 3, and then you had sound and vision.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
It's not like plop, you play a CD.
No.
But we learned, you know. Then also with that we could make nice mixes. But later the Pioneer came, and then I thought, and I played already with CD. I was the first one in Amsterdam to start playing CDs.
Mm-hmm.
And that became in 2000. I played in Russia, in St. Petersburg, for half a year, I think. And all the Russian DJs didn't have money enough to buy vinyl, because vinyl was very expensive there.
Right.
And I think one 12-inch cost them a night of salary, weet je wel, because they make less money and the price of the vinyl was higher.
Exactly.
So it was very difficult for them to buy records.
Yeah.
So they recorded CDs and they gave it to everybody. You know, they exchanged it to all the other DJs, and that's why they play with CDs. And then I saw them working with the CDs. I thought, oh, that's handy. So I came back from Russia, and then I started digitalizing my whole collection.
Yeah.
And then I was the first DJ to play with CDs. And everybody in Amsterdam said, oh, you have to play vinyl. You're not a DJ anymore. You know, they had a lot
As
of...
always, they also still say that now, or you use a USB.
Yeah, that's what it is. And then, but in the beginning, there was not the CD 1000 already. And I know the Pioneer people good because of the DJ conventions and everything. So on the moment they called me, I got now the beautiful machine. Yeah. And then I was the first one to play with the CD 1000. Yeah. And that was fun, because then you could do a lot more, you know?
Yeah, I can imagine.
And then the other DJs started realizing, he's doing some things we cannot do.
Exactly.
and the biggest thing was I played always for business events and private parties as well. And you always go through your record collection. It takes you 2-3 hours to prepare the set.
Yeah.
And with the CDs, you have everything with you.
Exactly.
That was the biggest time thing, which was an advantage, that you don't have to spend so much time. You just come in with your box and, okay, what is it tonight? Okay, then we do this or that or that. So that was great to go to the CDs.
Nice.
But and then when the DVDs players came out from Pioneer, then I had my music already digital, but then I had to put all the clips on top, you know, and make DVD and burn DVDs. So that took me, I think, 3 months because I had a very big collection of VHS and Betamax tapes of good old clips. So I had to combine the CD quality with that was a lot of work.
Yeah.
But then I was the only one because there was no YouTube and nobody could get clips from anywhere,
Yeah.
And,
How have you experienced the growth? Because obviously it's been 50 years that you're in the industry, as far as I understood, right? Or at least as a DJ.
Yeah, as DJ from already nearly 50 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you, as you mentioned, you experience everything from vinyl to CDs
Yeah.
to. How has that development been?
Fun.
Right.
Yeah, we started with singles, the
Why
7
do you
inches.
think there's a lot of people, right, that growth or that difference that would stop them? They'd be like, okay, this is not what I want to do anymore. Why doesn't it stop you?
Because I always like to be the first. No, not I like to be the first, but I'm always interested in the new developments.
Yeah.
And I always like to use it because it can make your work better.
Where does that interest come from?
Because I like to work so much. And
Yeah,
then
okay.
if anything can help me to make that work better,
Yeah.
I will put time and energy in it. And then when you start working again, now I can do this.
Exactly. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
Especially being in a scene so long, to just seeing people. I mean, you've probably experienced and people come in and left again, and in the meantime, you're still there,
Yeah,
still doing your thing.
Yeah. But the fun thing is I do now something which nobody does in the world because I play with 3 different video screens at the same time. I developed that myself because I played already so long with one video screen. And then I realized when I went digital finally, because it took a long time before we with the video clips could play digital. And then I found out, you can put more screens. So I developed a system and I edit clips now with 3 different visuals, or a very big visual, or 3 different ones. And the good thing is nowadays there are many versions of clips on the market. So you can do it, because in the beginning that was difficult. You had only one. You was happy that you had one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now, I always keep ahead of, not anyone else, but I just want to do the most interesting thing. Then I like it.
That's awesome. Henk described you as one of the fire starters in the Dutch dance scene.
Ooh.
What were those first sort of years in the Dutch dance like?
Yeah.
Trying to establish
Yeah.
a scene, even, I think.
Yeah. Because of the DJ convention started at the perfect moment, when we started it, then the Euro dance became big.
Right.
So it was Too Unlimited, all the German acts and all the European acts, and that was new because before that all the music came from England or America.
Yeah.
And so a little bit from France and a little bit from Germany, but then suddenly there was the European sound. And that made our DJ convention interesting because all the artists wanted to come to play for us. And that's why we always did it on Monday night in the beginning, because then all the artists were free. Oh, yeah, we like to come.
Yeah.
So and then all the record industry people realized, all the artists are there. We have to go.
Yeah.
And then they met each other. And then the business started growing. Yeah. So that was perhaps the fire starter for Amsterdam to be the middle of it, because when the last event which I organized, then we had 300 people from all over the world, people from Japan and from Russia. That was funny, was that?
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. So
You mentioned that you obviously already played in a lot of different countries.
Yeah.
Russia, Ibiza, Germany,
Yeah.
Netherlands, obviously.
Yeah, and a lot of times at the private parties, in London or
Exactly.
or also in Switzerland and all over. Yeah.
What has traveling the world and meeting all these different cultures, also playing music in all these different countries, what has that taught you about the world?
That there are big differences between the countries, and you have to realize how they're focused on their music. So you have to always make the how do you say, the translation step of what they know. And like the English people are very orientated on the English market. And America, exactly the same. They don't know so much about Europe
No.
music, at least in the beginning of my career. And that was the same with Germany and France. And the good thing is that we, as small country in Europe, we first is we have we are the best import in Europe.
Yeah.
Because we have these record stores, and there was a big competition in Holland between these stores. So everybody wants to be the best.
Yeah.
And it was really amazing because we got more music than Germany, or because they were not so focused on this
Right.
import.
Yeah.
So that's where also the Dutch step ahead started. And another thing is, what you realize is that the Dutch people are they take a step back and see if it's good. If it's good, then they go party.
Right.
But if it's not good, then they say,
Yeah,
sorry,
I'm leaving.
They're very critical.
Right. There seemed to be still quite a rise in talking about like burnouts for DJs, people who struggle with mental health. What are the parts of the DJ scene that people don't really talk about, in your opinion?
Yeah, but that's a new thing, of course. In my time, we didn't travel so much. We traveled, but not like they do now.
Yeah.
And that's the big difference. And of course, also, they play for a lot more money, as we did, and for a lot bigger crowd, because the pressure is much higher. And so I think, that makes the burnout come, and also because there's so much money in the business, they have to work, because they build a structure with managers and booking agencies, and everybody he needs to keep on playing. Yeah. Otherwise, they have no money.
Yeah, exactly. So
the pressure is so higher.
Yeah.
And that's why if you have a wrong management and a wrong booker, they try to book two things on a night, and you have to go from one place to another, and then the next morning again flying to there. And So you're.
Do you think that's a good development?
No, but that's what happens if you have a wrong manager and a wrong bookings agency.
Do you have advice how potentially aspiring DJs would be better choose a manager then?
Yeah,
because usually, right, let's take on Martin Garrix, for example. He got lucky in the sense that Animals, that he found the right manager, but he could have been like Avicii and ended up with the wrong one, and then maybe been in a position already where he's burnt out.
Yeah.
How, at such a young age in particular, because I feel like producers are becoming younger and younger.
Yes.
What criteria should you use for choosing a good manager?
Yeah, it's difficult because he has to be reliable. Yeah. That's one. Yeah. So that doesn't steal money from you, and then he has to have you as has to take care of you as well, because you're the one who goes to all the gigs. So you cannot do your management of your. I always manage myself, but they need to be managed, because I have time enough to do. People call me and I say, okay, I can do it, blah blah blah, and I deal everything. That's for me, is that no problem. But for them, and especially when you're young, I think he like Martin Garrix, he didn't have the good contract with the record company. And that was they had a big problem, and big suitcases and law cases.
Yeah, lawsuits.
And lawsuits. That's what. So it's you must be lucky to find the good people.
Yeah,
and some people are better at it. Like I think Armin van Buuren had a very good organization around him, and he picked the right people to work for him. It's very important, of course, that and so that's also has to do with your own talent to find good people, or your own intelligence, or to organize it well around you.
Yeah.
But also he is always complaining about the pressure and the hard work and the and also like Avicii, I think he lost himself in drugs as well. Yeah. But I'm not sure, but I can imagine that is one of the problems. Yeah. If you're not really solid in what you do, then and people offer you everything. Of course, when you're that big star, you come in countries in Russia or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
everything is possible,
Right.
And you have to say no sometimes. And if you cannot do that, yeah, then you have a problem because then you go deeper and deeper and deeper in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You already mentioned that one part of being an entrepreneur or a DJ is that it brings in a lot of uncertainty with it. Because unlike a job, you don't know if you're getting paid this month, if you don't go looking for gigs.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that uncertainty?
Yeah, I didn't have so much uncertainty. It's more like how that you have you need to have a kind of helicopter view on the business, where your business is going to be. And in the beginning, of course, I played in all the Amsterdam clubs, and then you had the in-crowd clubs, and you had this and that, and then you had your business there. And then in '82, I had my first band, Alex and the City Crew. Then we made a record, but then I had break dancers and an MC and people who play instruments, and then we toured with that. And then I thought, oh, that's okay. That we did for 1.5 years, and then we went to. Oh yeah, then I went to Mallorca and Marbella. Oh, and I played in the Bios, the big club. And from there I went to Mallorca, and then people saw me there, and they booked me in Spain. So yeah, you have to be. And after that, when I started playing music again, I was the first one to play with the clips. Then I invented to bring my own, because nobody knew how fun it was to play with clips, because they said, I have to see it,
Yeah, exactly.
And so I invented, I bought my own plasma LED screens, and I made how do you know, a stative for it.
Yeah.
Because all standard statives, they are too low.
Yeah, exactly.
Then if you put it on there, nobody in the room sees it.
Yeah.
And I know people has to see it. Then it's fun.
Yeah.
So I reorganized, I developed a special system where they can put higher.
Yeah.
And then people start noticing it's fun to play with. And the good thing is that I play all kind of music. And if you play only house, house is a lot of times, most of the times, it's instrumental music. But I play songs, people singing.
Yeah.
And then it's fun to see the people singing. And because I play music from the 60s till now, the older the music is, the more fun people have watching the clips, because they're so outdated, or they look funny, or you remember that time, You remember the music sounds for them still like it's today, because it's from them for there, and but when they see the visuals. When they see Earth, Wind, and Fire with their funny suits on and doing things, then it's for them a lot of fun to watch the clip.
Yeah.
So so I was the first one to tour with screens and with the plasma screens, and later on I bought big video screens and beamers, and I designed my DJ booth, and I think I'm quite good in making a business of it, because renting equipment for all the parties is a lot of money every year. So that's why I'm always busy with that. Also,
you managed to make, as you mentioned, several businesses.
Yeah.
You don't, at least from my experience, you don't really get taught that in school.
No.
Where did you learn, where did you learned
to
build businesses?
Yeah, I started DJing at school when I was at school. And then, I always think everything is possible. So if I go direction, then I start inventing how it's possible to tour and to do.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's more
self-belief.
Just do it. Just don't hesitate. Just go for it. Again, I'm like there. I'm inventing a new DJ. I'm trying to work out a new DJ booth.
Yeah.
Because I want a DJ booth that was a lot lower and a lot. No, I'm working on it again.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the DJ booth number 10, I think.
Yeah.
Every time I have a new idea, and then I go for that. Yeah. So it's you have to be. I'm lucky to be. How do you say? I can manage myself. I'm creative enough to invent things which are not there before.
Yeah.
And it's always about DJing, dancing people.
Yeah.
And but I'm in this business so long, so I know exactly what I want,
Yeah.
And I've been touring always. So the touring, we have now we organize the 40 Up events in Holland, and that's parties for the people who are older as 40 years.
Yeah.
And and we started with that 15 years ago, and now we have 60, 70 parties in Holland in the biggest rooms that you can get,
Yeah.
the Tivoli or Oosterpoort.
Yeah.
It's very fun, people like to come there, that's sold out, and I can play the music I want.
Yeah.
I'm happy there, because it's I developed it like that I feel comfortable there.
Yeah, exactly.
And I let the people know that we play every kind of music because that's what they're used to now.
Yeah.
We play rock, we play pop, we play dance, we play disco, we play funk, we play soul, we play everything is possible.
So as far as, because you are a DJ that's been in the scene for so long,
Yeah.
if there's a starting DJ trying to sort of figure out, okay, how am I going to place myself in this DJ world?
Yeah.
What advice would you have that doesn't, not only to get to the top, but also to be here in 50 years still organizing 40 plus events?
The thing is, it goes away. You never can predict.
Yeah.
I know when I was one of the DJs, the first ones who play house.
Yeah.
We could never realize that 30 years later, house was still there.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning there was new wave and punk and soul and disco, and then it was always going fast.
Yeah.
And then suddenly house came and it never went.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So what comes after this, you never know. Yeah. But it's funny that I grew up in a time that there were, let's say, 1,000 clubs in Holland. Everywhere was a club, There was a big scene where you could play music as a DJ. And now it's festivals.
Yeah.
And all the clubs are nearly gone. And the festivals, they let you play for a little money if you're not known. Because, they say, you can get well known,
Yeah, I do know.
That's the way it is.
Yeah.
And so the only way to get known now is playing to make music.
Yeah.
And then your music must be good, and then you get a name.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot of that. We couldn't do that in the past.
No.
So there's a big difference in the scene now and 50 years ago. But what I did is start playing in a club, what not too big. Yeah, this was quite big, but and in the neighborhood, and it was a jongerencentrum. Mm-hmm. And then start learning and do it a lot, and then you can grow.
Yeah.
But you cannot start at the top. Always everybody wants to start immediately at the festival on prime time. Yeah. That's not going to work. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. I think the most important what you also just said is get into a mindset of doing.
Yeah,
right. That's ironically, that's actually what Hank said as well. That you have to do and not think about doing.
That's right. Yeah.
So obviously my podcast is called The Quarter Life Crisis.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because in my case, as I explained a little already, I was a DJ, but in the meantime I was doing master, I was sort of doing it next to my study. And then at some point started reflecting, thinking, okay, I don't think this whole music thing is going to work out for me. Let me stop that and focus on a new project, hence The Quarter Life Crisis. But also why it was a crisis is because I was then done with studying and realized I still have no idea what I want to do. And there's so many opportunities, like which road do I pick? Yeah. First of all, did you have a quarter life crisis?
Yeah, that was after the whole situation with Update Media. When I quit that was the first thing which didn't work out too well because we couldn't get it profitable. We did too much and not, and we were struggling to get it profitable and it didn't work out. And then all things went together. The DJ convention went to Konamis and they went on with it without us knowing about my wife. I was divorced. The house where I lived in was not okay. The work with Henk was to an end. And then I thought, okay, I did a lot of things good, and I had a lot of fun in life. But financially, it's not okay, and I have to change because I realized that working with 15 people in the office, being there the manager is not my life. I realize I'm more doing things. I like to do more things than to organize things.
Yeah.
So I said to myself, there are a few things I don't want to do anymore. I don't want to have people which I'm paying to work for me. You know, that you're the boss. I don't want to be the boss anymore. I don't want to do anything with organizing events because I organized so many events in my life that it's too much stress, too much hustle. Getting at that time, where the promotion was always a big thing, you know. Putting up posters, making flyers, let people get the flyer. It was too much work.
Yeah.
So the risks were too high. And I thought, no. And then I started DJing again. I thought, okay, now I'm going to do it differently. I go only DJing and technique. I like to be busy with technique, you know. I have a sound system, light system, video screen. That's a thing I also like to do.
Yeah.
So then and life developed like it was. That I'm only DJing and doing that. And
no, what I like about that is the fact that you talk about. You tried the entrepreneur thing and realized this is not for me. And I think especially right now on social media and stuff, you have this trend, right? That everybody says, well, become an entrepreneur because that's going to change your life. And realizing, you know, equally could be for the DJ thing because the DJ thing on the outside looks spectacular to a lot of people. But if you're not resistant to sort of the long nights, you know, then it becomes hard, and that's sort of the downside. So I like that you are so honest in reflecting, look, I tried it, it's not for me, I'm going to focus on what I enjoy doing.
But this crisis, you need to find out, the harder thing in life is to find out where you're not good at.
Yeah.
It's easier to find out where you're good at.
Yeah.
But because you're good at some things, you think you can do everything. But it is not so. You have to find out that managing people is a completely different thing managing a crowd in a club, you know? And you have to be harder if you're an entrepreneur. You have to be very hard and make money from other people, you know? Yeah. And that's not a thing which I can do, which I'm not good at, you know? I'm not... I like to give people fun and not to take money from them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's the difference that's what I always not so didn't like about the music industry. There are the people that are doing the business and you have the artist. And the people who are doing business need the artist, but the only thing they do is get the most money out of the artist.
Yeah.
That's their
go-to.
That's where they're in life for, you know. Make as much money, and doesn't matter how, and doesn't matter from whom. And the artist cannot do anything without the business people. Yeah. And so they're connected to each other, but it's a not good balance.
No, exactly.
And that's what I don't like about the music industry or about this kind of industries. Yeah. And you have that, of course, also at the art or in the movie or theater business. Everywhere it is.
There's
it's the creative people and the business people, and they're different. Yeah.
So as far as, do you have any advice as far as when you are on, let's just keep it to me in my situation where you're starting out and you see, okay, I could take this road, I could take that road, what is any advice when it comes to figuring out what road to take?
Yeah. I think take it easy, organize your own events and try to get a group of people behind you. Then you're interesting for everybody to play music because then you take your people with you. So if you live in what town, it doesn't matter. Just start organizing events in your own town,
Yeah.
and get as much people as you can, and as soon as it grows, the bigger it gets, the easier you get work as a DJ. So simple is it.
Yeah.
And nowadays, via social media and things like that, it's easier to do as in the old days.
Yeah. Yeah.
So and perhaps produce some records and try different roads
Yeah.
at one time. Yeah, I think if I should start over, I think that's the way to do it.
Okay.
I made one record with my band, Alex City Crew, and then we had 200 shows. And after that, it stopped. And then we went on with other things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I didn't like to be in the studio because the studio is nothing for me.
No.
Because that's only you're in this room, and I want to work with people. You know, that's the thing.
Yeah,
That's my drive.
Yeah. But it sounds then like it's been a very organic, constant learning process. Like as I mentioned, you just do, and you're like, okay, reflecting very critical on yourself of, do I enjoy this? No. Okay, stop. Next thing. Do I enjoy
that's
this?
right.
No.
Yeah, to be honest, we have a company with this 40 Up. I have a few partners, and during the Corona crisis, I said to them, "I'm not sure if I start playing music again."
Right.
Because I wasn't not sure. I couldn't predict
Yeah.
how I would like it again after 2 years
Yeah.
to be on the road again.
Yeah.
And then and I like it again,
Yeah,
you know.
okay. Yeah.
But there I was uncertain about. I said, perhaps it was enough.
Yeah.
And it's very handy if you can change your career, because there was a moment I did around, I think, 200-300 parties for companies, you know, in a year, because I was the king for that on the moment.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted me. I had the clips, and I was playing the right music. Blah, blah, blah. But then in 2008 there was the financial crisis, and then everything stopped because they had no money anymore.
Yeah.
And then a little bit before that, I came in contact with 40 Up, with Harry de Winter. And we organized together. We were partners together. And then I thought, okay, then we start putting energy in 40 Up, because then we can make money at the parties that people pay tickets, you know.
Yeah.
And so now, then I changed from being the business party DJ into the 40 Up DJ. And then we built up 40 Up slowly.
Yeah.
But very, then we had 2 places then we had the Effenaar, and then we started in Amsterdam, in the Melkweg, or we started in Paradiso, and the second party was in the Melkweg. And then more and more places came, because nobody was doing something for this older crowd.
Yeah, exactly.
And they love to dance again, you know?
Yeah.
So that's, and then this became my new business.
Yeah.
And so you have to be aware of where you are as a person, as a DJ. I think it's when I started DJing again after my midlife crisis, I thought, there are so many house DJs. I can be a house DJ, but it's too difficult to compete with them.
Yeah.
I'm the DJ who plays everything.
Yeah.
And so I choose, and that's also more me, because I like all kind of music, because that's 50 years ago it had to be like that. And I choose my own path. And that's why I also never took a DJ name, because I thought, I'm old enough to use my own name.
Yeah, exactly. Nice.
That's the reason why I still work under my own name.
Nice.
And I think you have to be aware of what is happening around you, and that you see yourself in a new business and how it can work.
Yeah.
And this worked out. Yeah.
I'm already at my last question,
Yeah.
and that question is, I'm very curious about it. What does the future hold for Alex?
Oh, yeah. We're rebuilding our house, so that's a big thing going on.
Yeah.
And that's what I did in the Corona time. Then I changed plans, and I started building our house, because we have a whole house with different floors. So there was a lot to do, and I liked it as well, to do some other things again.
Yeah.
And so that is going to happen the coming half year. After that, yeah, we're growing with 40 Up, but I also like to step back a little bit and play a little bit less than I did before Corona, because I think, yeah, well, I'm 66, so it's good to step back slowly.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's a new thing popping up, and I have some ideas for things. But no, yeah, I'm not as eager as I was before in organizing new things.
Got it.
Because I don't have to work,
Yeah.
It is not necessary.
Yeah.
And it's also a lot of hustle to organize something new. So but always, there's something pops up, and I'm open for the future.
Yeah.
But how it exactly is going to be, I bought a new...
Not hanging up the DJ boots anytime soon, then.
No,
Maybe
no,
less,
no,
but
no,
not.
No. I'm in the middle of liking it a lot again.
Nice.
So we keep on going.
Yeah. Your passion is very contagious. You almost make me want to start DJing myself again. So I want to thank you for your time. I appreciate it, and the stories you shared. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.